remember at 17, they told us all to go and find our dreams, work hard, and we could change the world. Well, we all went out, did what we could, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. 3 billion of us, yeah, we really changed the world. One thing I'd still like to see is wisdom keeping up with technology, 'cause wisdom, it seems, is in short supply. Maybe we should have been thinking twice before we continued wrecking paradise. 3 billion of us, where else can we go?
Today I want to talk about something that most of you already know. It's hot outside. It's really hot. And if this feels worse than normal, that's because it is. We just found out that July was the warmest month on record. Warmer than any other month since we began keeping track more than a century ago. On top of all this heat, we're also experiencing one of the worst droughts in over 50 years.
People cannot afford to irrigate and fertilize their crops, and that's one reason there's 1 billion hungry people on the planet. Now, 1 billion hungry people is more hungry people than we've ever had in the history of our species. So you've got a challenge our species is going to have to confront that's really unprecedented, which is, how do you sustainably feed a population of 9 or 10 billion? Most of the world is actually low input agriculture. They cannot afford fertilizers and irrigation, so the crops have to deal with low soil fertility and drought. Drought, of course, is even a problem in countries like the US.
We're not the only ones in Oklahoma that are facing this crisis.
Is solving Norman's water shortage as simple as flushing the toilet, recycling sewage water back into its drinking supply?
It's a finite supply. It doesn't keep growing as our communities grow.
Several Oklahoma towns, including Norman, depend on Lake Thunderbird for its water. It's better now, but you can see what a few months of dry weather did to its levels earlier this year.
So we're not inventing something. We just want to incorporate our version of what we think would be good for Oklahoma.
And a good idea of what that might look like can be found right here in hot, dry El Paso, Texas. Water's a valuable resource here, but thanks to a very aggressive water treatment program, they hardly have to worry about their supply.
This plant is one of the few in the nation that is capable of taking raw wastewater and converting it to potable quality water.
El Paso has been turning sewage into drinkable quality water for 28 years.
Numerous weather modification patents state the express goal of creating artificial cloud cover by spraying small particles of aluminum, barium, and other heavy metals into the stratosphere. Saturation of the atmosphere with these moisture-absorbing nanoparticles has created drought in the United States and around the world. Blocking a percentage of the sun's direct rays is global dimming. Douglas Rowland, a scientist with NASA, admits spraying chemicals into our nation's skies. Drought is real in 2014. Oregon, California hard hit. Wichita Falls, Texas is processing wastewater into drinking water. These are times that alter and illuminate our times and the future for generations to come. We have been bad stewards of the earth and sucked her dry. Now we pay the piper. This is Bill Keefer, former United States Marshal, presenting a series of Mother Earth Died Last Night. Chemtrails, drought, floods. We created global warming and we will pay for it. I am Bill Keefer. Keep watching, keep questioning. Until next time.
Farmers, third and fourth, fifth generation farmers have lost there's not enough water to be able to sustain the agriculture community. Psychologically, many suicides, 1,000 farmers a year commit suicide in Australia, third and fourth gen, because they've lost their land and lost their farms because of a lack of water. We're also generating that kind of those problems in, like for example, the San Joaquin Valley in California, where there's drought and water scarcity. California supplies 1/3 of the food to the entire country, and we start losing our agricultural lands in California because of lack of water and drought and so forth. That's a major problem, food security and national security. We need to come to grips with these realities now. We need to have plans to start dealing with these issues. I mean, because it's really serious.
An ugly effect of fossil fuels. Acid rain. Fossil fuels, oil, coal, and natural gas are running out quickly. And since much of the world's power depends on these resources in the next few hundred years, this could very well be a major problem. However, if we are not more careful about the way we use these natural resources, we won't have to worry about that. The world won't survive that long. The